Bill Maher weighed in on the Bernie or bust movement, which of course is the movement that says, hey, if Bernie doesn't get the nomination, we're either going to write in his name, we're going to vote for a third-party candidate, or some of them are even going as far as voting for Trump. So Maher's going to weigh in on that, and he's not a fan. Let's watch.
You two also need to work together so you can stop the greatest supervillain of all time, Orange Crush. Now, it was an exciting week for us left-leaners because with the win in Michigan, the Sanders campaign, which I have been saying, is offering America a new kind of deal, has shown that Americans are still considering that deal. But I feel I should say something about a growing movement called Bernie or Bust, where Bernie supporters pledge that if it's Hillary, they'll stay home or vote for the Green Party. On their website, they say they're revolting against the plutocracy. No, actually, you'll be helping elect a plutocrat who's revolting. Elizabeth Warren recently disappointed Bernie supporters by staying neutral in the primary fight. No endorsement for either one. So thousands of Sanders fans hijacked her Facebook page and said things like, "I'm disgusted by you. Why not just throw the whole country under the bus? It must be Karl Rove's money." And those were the early comments before the Red Bull kicked in. Really? Elizabeth Warren is the enemy now? She's helped more millennials than Adderall. And the Hillary camp does it too, in a race where no Republican candidate supports a woman's right to choose, and one of them calls women bimbos and pigs. You know who the real sexist is? Bernie. Bill Clinton accused his supporters of online sexism, which is pretty rich coming from a guy who's been known to grab your tits in person. So while Bernie fans attack Hillary for not being liberal enough, and Hillary fans attack Bernie for not being feminist enough, Black Lives Matter is attacking them both for not being black enough. Even though they both have a 100% voter rating from the NAACP, as opposed to Trump, who gets 5 stars from the KKK. There are real enemies out there. Have you seen a Republican debate? The zombies are in the mall. I'm telling you, this is going to be the death of liberals, this nitpicky, intramural attacking of friends for insufficient purity, compulsively cleaning up a little corner of the room that's already quite clean, while there are giant piles of shit everywhere else.
So that's pretty clear. What he's saying is, okay, you guys have to understand there's now this movement that is too far left. It's like a left-wing Tea Party. I think they're irrational, and I think that's a bad thing. Now, that's his position today. What was it a few years ago? Let's see what he had to say.
The only way to pull the debate back from the far right is for liberals to elect their own slate of 60 unstable, Looney Tune, mad as a hatter, crazy motherfuckers. So please, liberals, start trolling Whole Foods parking lots, nude beaches, erotic cake stores, the MSNBC commissary. Anywhere where you might find angry left-wing lunatics to create a party within a party, as the Tea Party is a party within the Republicans. And don't tell me that there already is such an entity on the left, that it's the ACLU or Greenpeace or MoveOn.org. Oh, please. Those are educated people. Lawyers and scientists. We need loudmouths and bad dressers. You say no new taxes on the rich, we say tax the rich at 100%. You call for a constitutional amendment banning abortion. We call for a federally funded partial birth abortions at the drive-thru at McDonald's. You want Reagan on the $50 bill? We insist on Janine Garofalo. Also, not only must gay history be taught in public schools, but also gay math. With word problems like, if the park ranger inspects the restrooms every 4 hours, and it takes Glenn 12 minutes to get a stranger off, how many strangers can Glenn service between inspections?
20.
And the other bill that I'm afraid the Donner Party must insist on is the We Want Everything They Have Act of 2011, which guarantees all Americans what Europeans get, like free health care and 6 weeks. And 6 weeks of paid vacation, which sounds so good, I think I'll start mine right now.
So Bill Maher from a few years ago says, yeah, a left-wing Tea Party is exactly what we need to get the debate back to where it should be because the spectrum and the Overton window is so far to the right. And then today, when we have this conception of a left-wing Tea Party that basically says Bernie or bust, he's like, no, wait, if we got to go for the establishment candidate, go for the establishment candidate, eat your vegetables and shut the fuck up. So which Bill Maher is right? Okay, I think it's kind of a 50-50 thing. And let me explain. Do I sympathize with the Bernie or bust people? Fuck yeah! He's trying to, scoff at them today and, write them off as, crazy people who are, perfectionists, who don't understand the broader issues here. No, I think that the concern is people have moral red lines when it comes to Hillary. So I'm going to get to that in a second. But, so what would I advise people to do? Well, if it just so happens that Hillary gets the nomination and she's up against a Republican, in the deep red states, am I going to lose sleep over it if you don't go vote for Hillary Clinton? No way. The deep red states are going to go to the Republican anyway, and for you to take time out of your day to go vote for somebody who has a questionable record at best is, It doesn't seem like it's the most important thing in the world. Now, also, if you're in a deep blue state, am I going to say, oh, you have to go vote and go vote today? Go vote right now. No, the deep blue states are going to go to the Democrat no matter what, so are you going to take time out of your day and vote for somebody who, again, has a questionable record at best? I'm just being honest with you guys. I wouldn't be compelled to tell you to do that, and I wouldn't blame you if you don't do that. Okay, I know a lot of people will come after me for this, but this is the way I feel about it. Now, in the swing states, or any state that could conceivably be a swing state, would I say, okay, look, it really sucks and it's horrific, but should you hold your nose and vote for Hillary over Ted Cruz or Donald Trump? Yeah. Any state that's even close to a swing state, you don't want to risk it because there are differences, man. There are differences. Hillary has a horrific record, we know that, or questionable record at best. On many particular issues, horrific. But moving forward, is there no doubt that she'd be better than the Republicans on all the social issues? Yeah, certainly better on all the social issues. Would she be better on the Supreme Court? Yes, and that's really important too. You need to have the Supreme Court left-leaning, because if a Republican picks... now, again, and there's going to be a bunch of picks in the next 8 years, that you're in trouble. Just based on those things alone, you got to kind of hold your nose and cast the vote. Now, I get it. People think yeah, but maybe with Donald Trump, he says he's anti-establishment, he talks about money in politics, and maybe he would blow up the system and do campaign finance reform and... No, I don't think so. I mean, look, I understand he's a giant question mark and nobody knows what he will do, but it's almost certainly the case that he'd get into office. And the one thing I could tell you for sure about him is he would be authoritarian. Everything else, it was just something he said to try to get elected, and he contradicts himself every 8 seconds. And on top of that, he promises to commit war crimes and go after civilians and torture even if it doesn't work. Hillary would probably still suck with foreign policy, but suck less than Donald Trump. Okay? So, yeah, if it's a swing state or anything even close to a swing state, I know it sucks, but you got to go out and you would have to vote for her. Now, finally, let me come back to the burn your bus point that Bill made and how he scoffs at them and acts like they're stupid people. No. Look, I think it's the exact opposite, man. The burn your bus people, I get it. I get the feeling. I get the sentiment. It comes from a place that's 100% true. And that place is moral red lines. And I have them myself. And the bottom line is Hillary Clinton, on many issues, took a position that is simply indefensible. Like, it's not a debatable thing. If you're a liberal, if you're a progressive, and you look at these positions and you think it's debatable, you're just not a liberal or progressive. You're just not. So, for example, the Patriot Act. She voted for the Patriot Act. Okay, that's it. You're done. You're done. Okay, that you took the Constitution, ripped it up, and threw it in the garbage. That's what you did. The Patriot Act, that Fourth Amendment thing, which gave us our protection from unreasonable search and seizure. You said, fuck that, I don't care, let the NSA spy, let them go nuts. Due process, habeas corpus, protection from cruel and unusual punishment. Gone! You voted for the bill that took away our constitutional rights. That's it. That's not a debatable one. You're done. That's a moral red line. People look at that and say, I can't vote for somebody who voted for that. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. How about NAFTA? Look, NAFTA is not debatable. You shipped out hundreds of thousands of factory jobs, and that bill was to make the business owners rich and fuck over the people. That's not a debatable issue. So, again, why would I vote for somebody who voted for that? That's insanity. How about the deregulation of Wall Street? Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, which repealed Glass-Steagall. This is deregulation that Bill and Hillary supported. That's not debatable either. That led to the subprime mortgage crisis and the Great Recession. Okay? Not debatable. How about the crime bill, which locked up a tremendous number of African Americans and minorities, which was made it so we're tough on crime, and oh my God, put this drug war into hyperdrive, and not debatable. The Iraq War. Over 200,000 civilians died in Iraq. We had our own soldiers die as well. We spent, when all said and done, $7 trillion. And then she's going to come out and say, well, universal college, not sure we can afford it. How dare you? You voted for that. You voted for that. You voted for the Iraq War. You're telling me you don't understand where liberals are coming from when they say, I don't know, I have a problem voting for somebody who does that. And taking Goldman money, taking money from Wall Street, taking money from the health industry, taking money from everybody, having that affect her decision-making, and now pretending it's not going to affect her decision-making. How stupid do you think we are? No, guys, look, I get it. People are saying, I have a moral red line. I'm not going to vote for somebody who should feel lucky that they're not in jail. She should feel happy she's not in jail. You voted for the Iraq War. It's an illegal war. You should be joyous that you're not in jail. But no, she wants to be the leader of the free world. I get it. I'm not going to, if you're in a deep red state or a deep blue state, I'm not going to tell you to go out and suck it up and vote for the lesser of two evils, which is still fucking evil. If you're a swing state, I am begrudgingly telling you, with a rancid smell and a disgusting taste in my mouth, I'm begrudgingly telling you, yeah, suck it up and go vote if you're in anything that could even conceivably be a swing state, if Hillary's the nominee. But certainly, this notion from Bill Maher of like, oh, Bernie or bust. They're equally stupid to the people who are pretending Bernie supporters are sexist. No. The people who are pretending Bernie supporters are sexist are liars. They're lying to you. The people who are in the Bernie or bust movement are coming from a good place, and they have moral red lines about the kind of person they would vote for, and they understand that Hillary might be the lesser of two evils, but they're still having trouble bringing themselves to holding their nose and doing that. So you have to understand where they're coming from, and I think older Bill Maher is right. Bill Maher from years ago where he said we need a left-wing Tea Party because that'll pull the spectrum back to the left where it should be.